There you see Eric.
Back deep to receive for Oneonta. In the middle, 30 is Vince Toscano. 21 is Chris Rowe to his left, and to his right is number 20, I believe it's number 26. Looks like Terry Cleveland to his right. It is cold, as you can see. They are rubbing their hands and getting ready. We are just about ready to get underway here in Norwich. Eric Liebengut about to kick off for the Purple Tornado. There's the whistle, and we are underway. '79 Jim Berger on the reception for Oneonta. They will take over 1st and 10 at about their own 43-yard line.
Did you see the way that Liebengut had the ball on the tee there? He had it resting flat instead of the normal way straight up. Obviously, the wind down on the field may be playing havoc. You see it whipping off of the shirts there of the Oneonta players.
For Oneonta, Kobaszewski at the quarterback. Hand off to 21, Chris Rowe. He picks up maybe a yard or two.
Oneonta likes to run out of any different kind of formation, mostly the power I, right or left. They also, a lot of splits. And start right off the back, it was Jim Constanti in at tight end and not Dave Ravino. Ravino had a bruised knee in practice, and Coach Kobaszewski wasn't too sure whether he would get the starting nod or not this afternoon, but Constanti, tight end number 86, is in the ball game starting.
2nd and 9, ball on the, we'll call it just shy of the 45 for Oneonta. Outside to Chris Rowe. Nice run as he's knocked out of bounds just over the Norwich 45-yard line. 1st down for Oneonta.
You can look for that a lot when they line up in splits. They like to pitch the ball to Rowe. Rowe doesn't take the ball up the middle too often. He likes to run it outside. They like to pitch it outside. Kobaszewski says he's not a power back. And at 5'8", 150, you can see why.
1st and 10, Oneonta. Ball at about the 43.
There's the power I right.
Chris Rowe again. That time nowhere. Met by Eric Liebengut and a host of Norwich tacklers.
You mentioned Liebengut, one of those two-way performers defensively and offensively. Rowe is taking it off of right guard, right tackle, following the blocking of Toscano and Lecastri, but nothing there. Except big number 85, and is he big on Norwich, Chet Grzybowski.
6'6", 225 officially. We looked at him up close. That looks a lot bigger than 6'6", 225. Oneonta sends Lecastri wide right, and that's Chris Rowe with the ball. Fumble.
I think it was down already.
Oneonta maintains possession. Down to about the 35-yard line of Norwich.
They've seemed to line up in the splits twice now. Once to the left, and they pitched it to Rowe, and he ran wide to the left side. This time they line up in splits right, and they pitch it to Rowe, and he runs wide to the right and picks up good yardage both times.
It is 3rd and about 2 yards. Ball just over the 35-yard line. Oneonta sends Kim Fleischer wide left. It's Chris Rowe up the middle, hit once, and falls forward. He may have gotten the 1st down. This is going to be close.
Liebengut, number 10, with a nice initial hit right at the line of scrimmage, slowed him up. Norwich plays a 4-4 defense.
They'll bring in the chains to take a measurement with this one.
They play the 4-4, and if there's one thing that the Oneonta coach feels is suspect with Norwich, it's the 3 men in the secondary. But again, it's such a cold afternoon, to try to exploit the passing game this early would be kind of foolish. Barely got it.
Just by the nose of the ball. Oneonta continues to march. 1st and 10 on the Norwich 33-yard line. First quarter just underway and scoreless here at Ulrich Field in Norwich.
Mike Kobyszewski, number 17, 5'11" senior, 175 pounds at quarterback.
Rowe again. Goes off the left side, gets it to about the 30-yard line. It's John Stone, Scott Moore on the stop for Norwich.
Scott Moore is number 64 on Norwich, the left defensive tackle, and he is the leader on defense. He's a co-captain, the leading tackler, 5'10" senior, 185 pounds.
As you can see, Pete Ward, number 44, a second ago, the left inside linebacker. He is the defensive captain, getting the signals from the sideline. 2nd and about 7 for Oneonta. Well, Kobyszewski tried little play action. That went nowhere. Maybe picked up a half yard.
Looked as if he was trying to get the option game going.
Kobyszewski looks to the sideline. Well, he looks for dad in many cases for the offensive signals.
This is about 3rd down and 6 now, and it's really the first passing situation we may see Oneonta use. Of course, when they've lined up in splits, they've been able to pitch it to Rowe, and he's gained good yardage. But if they do pass, the defensive secondary, Mike Traver, Ed Kamichik, and Chris Cataldi for Norwich are the 3 deep men, and they may have taken too much time.
Okay. Delay of game, so they'll march it back 5 yards. Took a little time, a little too much time to get that signal in from the sideline.
That'll back it up to about 3rd down and 11, and we may indeed see Kobyszewski throw his first pass. Kim Fleischer, number 88, just checked in with the play as the leading receiver for Oneonta.
3rd down, 12 yards to go.
They send Fleischer wide to the right. Kobyszewski looks to throw. He's hit, but gets the pass off. It's tipped up. And that shows what kind of day it is. It's cold out there.
He had Fleischer open. I think that number 30, the fullback, Vince Toscano, may have ran his pattern just a little bit too deep, because you saw the 2 receivers were just about in the same area where the pass was coming. There's only about a 2-yard difference between Fleischer and Toscano.
On Norwich 33, Jamie Edwards, the right rover, came in and just nailed Kobyszewski just after he got the pass off. They will punt. Norwich back deep to receive. Number 11 is Ed Kamisik. It's a decent punt. He goes into the end zone, though. We'll go 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line as Norwich takes over. 7 minutes, 22 seconds to go in this first quarter. We're scoreless here at Norwich.
Scott Moore is the, or Oneonta that was, the punter with a kick into the end zone.
Let's take a look at the Norwich offense while we have a quick second. Eric Liebengut is the quarterback. Ed Kamisik, the fullback. Pat Stevens, the tailback. Wingback is Mike Traver. We'll take a look at the rest of them in a couple seconds.
Stevens is a good one.
And the handoff.
Kamichik.
That's Ed Kamichik. Tried to go to the outside. Picked up maybe a yard and a half. Let's go back and take another look at the rest of that lineup. The front line blocking today. At tight end is Chet Grzybowski. As we said, 6'6", 225. John Stone at right tackle. Scott Moore at the right guard. Brian Rice at center. Dave Wake is the left guard. Jeff Law at left tackle. Split end is Jamie Edwards. And we're at 2nd and 8 for Norwich. Up the middle, Pat Stevens. Fine running from Stevens.
Nothing more than a power play right up the gut. And we mentioned in the pregame, he is just 5 feet 6 inches tall, but he goes at 185 pounds, just a junior. He's carried the ball 101 times this year and picked up 681 yards. That's a 6.5 yard average per carry.
1st and 10, ball on the Norwich 30. Liebengut to Stevens.
Ran right into John Gennarino, a senior. number 55.
Generino, the nose guard, nose tackle, the man over the middle. Called it second and about 9.
Norwich runs out of the I formation primarily. Lots of play action.
Back to throw. Liebengut looking for Mike Traver. And right in and out of the hands of Chris Rowe, the Oneonta defender. Let's take a look at the Oneonta defense, get a chance to introduce all of them. Across the front, right defensive end is Jim Constanti, Keith Krieger, at tackle, nose guard John Generino, as we noticed. Left side, Chris Wilder and Vince Lecastri. Your linebackers, Phil Lecastri and Vince Toscano. Chris Rowe and Paul Angelino at the corners. Mike Kobashevsky, Kim Fleischer, free safety and strong safety. 3rd and 9 for Norwich at the 30. Pitch out to Stevens. Gets it over the 30 to about the 32-yard line. It will be 4th and a long 9. Norwich will punt.
Liebengut normally does the punting. You see him trying to keep his hands warm. It is cold down there.
Chris Rowe back to receive, deep for Oneonta. Liebengut. Nice punt. That's Rowe at about his 35. Down the left side, one more blocker, and he's knocked out of bounds.
Just ran out of room down the sideline.
So Norwich takes over, Oneonta takes over 1st and 10.
Just about at midfield. Ball just across the nose into Norwich territory. Yellow Jackets against the Purple Tornado.
It's colorful. Oneonta offense, Mike Kobashevsky at the quarterback. They send Kim Fleischer wide to the right. Kobashevsky with the keeper. Just shy of the 45-yard line into Norwich territory.
Not much room at all on the far side of the field to try to run wide like that. And Rowe just simply seemed to run too far, and Kobashevsky didn't get out quick enough to make the pitch, if that's what he was trying to do.
The Norwich defensive unit on your screen, 85. The big guy. Chet Zabowski. Oh, baby. Chris Rowe. Excellent tackle.
Flag down.
Eric Liebengut on the tackle. We'll see what the call is. Oh, somebody.
It's the holding.
Oneonta is called for holding. 64, Scott Moore.
Dan Chrisman, the head coach there of Norwich, in his 6th year.
There's Moore talking it over with the referee. And looks like we'll take a walk. $15 yards.
4:20 remain, first quarter. There's no score. It'll keep it at 2nd down, but it'll now be about 2nd down and 25.
This game very familiar to Friday nights. Seton, Shenango Valley, Union Endicott Vestal. First half it was cold and they couldn't get used to the ball, and both games were scoreless after the first half.
That UE Vestal game was something, a brawl in the middle of it.
Union Endicott took it 7-0, but what a game that was. Meantime, back here, Oneonta. Kobashevsky back to throw. Looks one way, goes the other, no place to go. 80, Bruce Berg, the right defensive end, finally drags him down.
I tell you, he had number 80 Berg dragging him down from behind, and as he tried to make a move, he had Chet Grzybowski, number 85, staring him right in the face. Actually, he was more like staring him in the numbers.
Call it 3rd and 26, 3.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Oneonta will punt. Norwich back deep to receive is Ed Kamisik. It's high and short. Kamisik will let it roll. It takes an Oneonta roll back back it goes to about the 25-yard line, and that's where Norwich will take over. 1st and 10.
40-yard punt. That's an 8th grader, Mike Lazaris, number 64, doing the punting. He's up from the JVs. He got a good one off there, but Kamichik simply made a mistake. He should have called for the fair catch and made the catch. He lost about 10 yards on the roll. But Oneonta not even going for it on 3rd down. They said, let's just get rid of it now. 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
Eric Liebengott directing the Norwich offense. Outside to Pat Stevens. Dragged down by 80, Paul Angelino for Oneonta. Picks up about, we'll call it 5 yards, 2nd and about 5. Ball at just shy of the Norwich 30-yard line.
Oneonta defensively usually sets up at about a 5-2. 2 linebackers, Toscano and Lacastri, are good ones.
Liebengott up the middle. Kamichik. Finally knocked out of bounds.
Chris Rowe with a touchdown-saving shove out of bounds, and he fought off a good block by Jamie Edwards downfield. Number 33, the wide receiver, got down there and was blocking Rowe, but he did a nice job of getting away from him.
Here it is one more time.
Just cuts it right across the field. You can see the flow is all going to the left side, and here comes Rowe. And he's the last one there to make the touchdown-saving grab.
Rowe and Vince Lacastri saved that one. We are back live. Here is Eric Liebengott directing the offense. 1st and 10 on the 43. Kamichik picked up, call it 4 yards, make it 2nd and about 6. Just under 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. We are scoreless.
Kamichik plays fullback. Kind of small, 5'10", 170, but then you look at the alternative, Pat Stevens is just 5'6". First time we've seen them in the power eye. Or more like a T.
Stevens!
Look out.
Pat Stevens! Knocked out of bounds at about the 5-yard line.
Mike Kobaszewski in to make the hit.
Here it is again.
Mike Kobaszewski, number 17, the last one there to stop him. And we're with 1st and goal. The ball is down on the 5-yard line.
Exactly a minute and a half to go in this first quarter. Norwich driving. Pat Stevens.
Two long runs, Kamichik and Stevens. And Norwich is threatening.
66, Dave Kamichik comes in at left guard for Norwich. 63, Dave Wake takes a break. Called it 2nd and goal. Kamichik in the corner, just short.
That was all extra effort. He was tripped up around the 3 or 4 yard line and just was able to keep his balance barely and stay on his feet to about the 1.
Change in the group again. Wake goes back in at left guard. Dave Kamichik comes out. 3rd and goal. 35 seconds and counting in this first quarter. Norwich driving.
Safe plays, just the quarterback sneak. Liebengott taking it, following his center, Brian Rice.
Liebengott. Touchdown.
That's the fullback, Eddie Kamichik.
But Kamichik puts Norwich up in front, 6-0 with 21 seconds to go in this first quarter.
Impressive 75-yard drive, done entirely on the ground. Pat Stevens kicks the extra points for Norwich, number 25. The holder is the split end Jamie Edwards, and he can throw the ball.
And there's a flag. Delay of game. Too much time.
Delay game penalty against Norwich.
6-0 with 21 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter here at Norwich.
Stevens again to attempt the extra point. As we noted, Jamie Edwards the holder. It's up. And it's wide to the left. No good.
Plenty of distance. He just shanked it.
So with 21 seconds to go in this first quarter, Norwich takes a 6-0 lead.
Ed Kmichik with a 1-yard touchdown run. Norwich coming into this game with a 5-3 record in Division III of the Southern Trails League. Seton Catholic Central 9-0 leads the pack. Oneonta 4-4. It's the last game of the season for these two clubs, and both coaches expressed an interest that they wanted to get all the seniors on both teams into the game.
That's right, last chance to play. Oneonta to receive, back deep, once again in the middle. 30, Vince Toscano to his left. 21 is Chris Rowe to his right. 26, Terry Cleveland. Here we go, kickoff again, Norwich, and once again the ball is flat on the tee, and look how that thing flies. Toscano right up the middle, and he is downed at his 35-yard line, but I've never seen a ball do that.
That's what happens when you lay it flat on the tee. You don't get the end over end, and you don't get as much distance.
What do you think? Is that a safety factor? You think that's why he's doing that?
I don't know. The wind seems to have died down a little bit right now as the quarter's about to come to an end. This could be the last play if they get it off. But
10 seconds and running on this clock.
Maybe he does that all the time.
Kobashevsky for Oneonta. Chris Rowe with the ball as the whistle went to end this first quarter. The play will count, and we are at the end of the first quarter. The score, Norwich 6, Oneonta nothing. We'll be back with more right after these commercials. Top of the second quarter here at Ulrich Field in Norwich. Let's take a look at that Norwich defense, if we may. I don't believe we've had a chance to introduce them to you today. There they are, right defensive end, Bruce Berg, John Stone at the right tackle, Scott Moore on the left side along with Chet Grzybowski. The linebacking core, Jamie Edwards, Dave Kmichik, Pete Ward, Eric Liebengut. On the corners, Mike Traver, Chris Castaldi, and Ed Kmichik is your safety. That's the defensive unit. Meantime, we have 2nd and about 8 for Oneonta on their own 38-yard line. On a very snowy, gray and cold afternoon here in Norwich.
Neither team completed a pass in that first quarter. Rowe, the leading rusher for Oneonta, number 21, has picked up 31 yards on 7 carries in that first quarter.
Kobashevsky backs in the eye. Little delay to Chris Rowe. He's crossed the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Third and about 5.
Norwich defensively likes to do a lot of blitzing. Pete Ward, left inside linebacker, and Dave Kmichik, number 66, the right inside linebacker.
Backs in the eye, they send Kim Fleischer wide right. There's a pitch out. Chris Rowe.
Picked up the first down. They blitzed that time. Dave Kmichik came in on the right side, but the play went far to the outside, and he was left in the backfield.
Oneonta 1st and 10 on the Norwich 46 as it begins to snow again here.
Very light, almost looks like a rain, but it is snowing.
Fleischer wide left. And there's a flag again. Offside. It'll be against Oneonta. It looks like 73, Scott Page, had that helmet across the line of scrimmage. So they'll march it back 5 yards.
Just simply lined up too far.
Page, the Oneonta left tackle. Oneonta left tackle.
So like today, you can't make mistakes like that. An extra 5 yards really hurts you, and it'll put you in a passing situation if you don't pick up good yardage here on first down.
Call it 1st and 15. Ball back on the Oneonta 49. Beginning of the second quarter. We are Norwich 6, Oneonta nothing. There's the pitch out, and Rowe is going the other way. Great defensive play. 10, Eric Liebengott read that beautifully.
I can't believe that it was designed to go that way. He took 2 steps and just halted. Maybe it's because he saw a whole host of purple tornadoes standing in his way. Tried to reverse it and go back to the right. The only blocker he had out in front of him really was Kobyszewski, the quarterback.
80, Paul Angelino in the game for Oneonta. Kim Fleischer, 88, the other split end, gets a rest. And 88 is back in now. Fleischer goes wide left. Delay to Rowe off the right side, and Liebengott again on the tackle. He's everywhere, just across midfield.
I don't think Liebengott has sat down on the bench yet. He's been playing quarterback and safety, and he's been in on the special teams.
Fleischer brings in the signals to Kobyszewski. 3rd and about 4. Excuse me, about 14. Kobyszewski back to throw, looks for a man. It's complete.
Toscano.
Vince Toscano gets it across the 45 to about the 43-yard line.
Just across the original line of scrimmage, it'll be about 4th down and 8.
And the punting unit, or the punting receiving team for Norwich is in.
Oneonta's punter, Mike Lazaris, again, number 64, that 8th grader. Big kid for an 8th grader.
Kmichik is back deep. That's a knuckler. And whistles all over the place.
He had his knee hit the ground,
right.
So he'll be down right there. But number 70 for Norwich, right in on the kick. And if he hadn't have fallen down, I don't think he could have avoided blocking it.
32 was Keith Thornton.
Jeff Law, number 70 on Norwich, was right in there on top of Lazarus.
8 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the half. 6-0 Norwich. And the Purple Tornado has the ball. 1st and 10 on their 23-yard line. Delay. Stevens is pounded as he gets across the line of scrimmage.
Quarterback Liebengott, as he took the ball from center Brian Rice, had a little trouble with the footing, and it does look a little treacherous down there.
Pat Stevens just 3 yards on that play. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
8 minutes left in the first half. 6-0 Norwich on top. 2nd down and about 7.
Liebengott, the quarterback. Ed Kmichik. And Kmichik with some nice running gets it up to the 30-yard line.
Jim Constanti there to make the hit.
3rd and about 3.
Norwich has 3 losses this year. One of them to Seton, 31-26. They lost to Gloversville up in Schenectady, and they lost to Hornell. 3 pretty good ball clubs that they lost to.
And Hornell last night was in the Section 5 playoff versus Dansville. Hornell with a decent season.
Coach Gene Maston.
Liebengott, Stevens. Across the 30, very close to the 1st down. They may bring in the chains again. Now they'll call it 4th and short.
I'd wager he's about a foot short of the 1st down. Now it's tough. You're on your own 32-yard line. It's 4th down. I guess they are going to call out the chains now. but I still think he might be a little bit short. And they've had success running the ball.
Scott Moore and Ed Kamichik, or Eric Liebengut and Scott Moore out to help the officials with the chains.
He's more than a foot short.
Oh, yeah. So fourth and very short, just over 7 minutes to go in the half as the snow begins to increase here.
Remember, it's the quarterback that's the punter.
They're going to punt. Excellent punt. Gorgeous. Oh, baby, watch that roll. And rolled it does down to just about the 10-yard line. Eric
58
Liebengut.
yards.
Woo.
And a net at 58 too, no return. Again, Rowe waving, but he didn't elect to catch it. And he must have picked up a good 15 to 20 yards on the roll. 58-yard punt. And Oneonta starts deep in their own territory, their own 11. Coach Kobyszewski told us before the game his offense has had trouble getting on track this year, and it appears to be another case of that this afternoon.
Paul Angelino goes wide, so does Vince Toscano, but they elect to stay up the middle.
Rowe again. That's about the third or fourth time he's taken it up the middle. Kind of unusual considering most of his gains come on outside runs.
2nd and 9, ball on about the 11-yard line for Oneonta. Deep in their own territory. 6 minutes to go in the half. 6-0 Norwich. Kobyszewski looks, keeps it around the right side. Krzyzewski on the tackle.
Nice play, fought off the block of Vince Lecastri, number 20. And big number 85 was able to get around and get a hold of Kobyszewski. He must be one heck of a basketball player. 6'7", 225 pounds, a senior. He's also got a brother on the team. I was going to say we were taking note before the game. A lot of brother combinations and a lot of interesting combinations. A coach and son as well.
Timeout. Oneonta decides to take a timeout, and we shall too. So with 5:53 to go in this half, it's 6-0 Norwich. We'll be back. Mitch Gross and Rob Goldman back here at Norwich, where the Purple Tornado leads Oneonta 6-0 on this final Saturday of the regular football schedule, the weekend here. Of course, next week we will be at Cornell, Sholkoff Field, for the Section 4 playoffs. More information, of course, coming on that in the following couple days as the pairings are finally decided upon today. A number of interesting ones.
The Division I title will be decided this afternoon. Or I guess as we speak, it's been decided.
That's
Elmira
right.
Southside and Elmira Free Academy playing. Bundled up here in Norwich. Cold afternoon.
And the snow continues to fall very lightly. 3rd and about 7 for Oneonta. Kobyszewski wants to throw. It's out there and just beyond the reach of Vince Toscano.
The flag down. And I didn't see any pass interference. But that's about where it was thrown. One also back near the line of scrimmage. There are 2 flags down on the play.
The flag in the backfield, the defensive backfield. Here's the signals. We have offsetting penalties.
One of them was a shove from behind. The other was roughing the quarterback.
Roughing the passer and and offensive interference. So they are offsetting. The down is played over. In other words, slap on the wrist of both teams, and on we go.
You could see in that shot where the snow came down last night. Both end zones covered in snow.
3rd and about 7. Oneonta with the ball on their 15. Kobyszewski wants to throw. Gets around Grzybowski. It was all over him. Goes short. It's tipped. Then for Chris Rowe and
Pete Ward.
Pete Ward got a hand on it.
And I'll tell you, if it wasn't, Chris Rowe was standing right behind him. And he had enough yardage for a first down.
Oneonta forced to punt, as they could go nowhere with that drive. 5 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the half. It's 6-0 Norwich.
Good job by the Norwich secondary. Kobyszewski with the scrambling had a lot of time to find a receiver, and there was nobody open.
The punt.
About a 25-yard kick. And Norwich again takes over an excellent field position there at the Oneonta 35-yard line. 5.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. 6-0 Norwich on top.
As you saw, 34, Mike Traver had initial thoughts about catching that one, but decided to let it go, and it rolled out of bounds. So the Purple Tornado takes over 1st and 10. Eric Liebengut. Pat Stevens. Over the 35 to about the 33-yard line.
Vince Toscano, number 30, made the tackle, and we've talked about him as a running back and a blocking back, but he's a major college prospect, so says his coach at linebacker. He says he has to replace his face mask every week. He's such a hard hitter. If you can believe that.
Am I allowed to doubt? Liebengut. Stevens. Just up to the 30-yard line. They're hitting out there, that's for sure. 75, Keith Krieger, the right defensive tackle, in on that stop for Oneonta.
Krieger was just kind of lying on the ground, and he's a tough man to get around. 5'11", 265 pounds. He's a senior, number 75 of Oneonta.
3rd and 5, ball just shy of the 30 for Norwich. Liebengut, 1-2, 3rd fake to Stevens. One man left, can't tackle him, he's in. Mike Kobyszewski was the last man back, couldn't stop him, and Norwich is now up 12-0.
30-yard touchdown run for Mr. Stevens.
Instant replay, here we go.
See the two fakes into the line, that's what did it. It got the flow going over to the left, and that was Stevens all alone. Kobyszewski, number 17, a dive, and Stevens able to keep on his feet into the end zone. 12-0, and Stevens will attempt to make it 13. The holder, Jamie Edwards.
The kick, it's up, and flags all over the place.
Norwich having a lot of problems with their extra
Illegal
points.
procedure against Norwich. They have been most unsuccessful on extra point attempts so far today. First, they had a delay of game after their first touchdown. The kick went wide to the left. They try it again this time, illegal procedure.
With that 30-yard touchdown run, Stevens has now carried the ball 10 times for 80 yards here in the first half, with still 4.5 minutes remaining.
Stevens to attempt the extra point again. Edwards the holder. It's down, it's up, and this time it's through.
Well, they now know they can kick a 25-yard field goal if need be.
So Norwich now leads 13-0 with 4:19 to go in this first half.
Got the crowd rocking.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's not just drums you heard. That's people banging on metal stands, but
anything to keep warm, right?
Right. So Oneonta will receive, going from right to left. Back
Oneonta
deep again. Vince Toscano. Along with Tony Kinch, number 19 to his left. And 26, Terry Cleveland to his right. Those are the three as you see them. Here we go, Norwich on the kickoff.
Finally has the ball teed up correctly.
We'll see which way it flies this time. That's a pretty kick. Right through Cleveland's hands. Toscano picks it up. And right now, Norwich has a head of steam and they're flying. 60, Pat Call on the tackle. For Norwich, they'll take over, Oneonta takes over 1st and 10 on their 23-yard line. Coming down to the 4-minute mark in the first half, it's Norwich 13-0.
Oneonta has had to start deep in their own territory on just about every possession. Compare that to Norwich, who's been a great field possession.
That looked like a broken play. Half of Oneonta didn't get off on the snap of the ball. Called it 2nd down. They've managed to pick up a yard or two. Kovashevsky on the keeper there.
It's the kind of play where he may have called something else when he got to the line of scrimmage. He saw there may have been some room up the middle, and you just kind of pat the center on the back and say, just give it to me as soon as I open my mouth, but not able to get anything there.
Kovashevsky to Rowe. Rowe up to about the 30-yard line. Make it 3rd and about 3. Coming down to the 3-minute mark in the half. 13-0. Norwich.
This is really a big play here in the first half. 3rd down and about 3. Oneonta has only made about 2 first downs this entire first half.
Kovashevsky up the middle. Vince Lecastri. So it's 4th and about, called it 1.5, 2 yards.
Looks as if they're going to go for it. Big gamble here on their own 32-yard line.
They will. They send Kim Fleischer wide to the right. Kovashevsky hands off to Rowe. Let's see. Depends on where they mark it. It's close. First down. Just enough. So the gamble pays off.
Boy, that was a gutsy move by Kovashevsky. You don't make it there, and then you give Norwich great field position with still 2 minutes remaining in the first half, and you could just as easily be down by 19 points as you are 13.
1st and 10. Ball on the Oneonta 33. Kovashevsky looks. He throws. It's picked off at Kamichik. Meant for 83, Dave Ravino. Overthrown. Kamichik got his hands on it, and Norwich takes over.
The only receiver that Kovashevsky had out there was Ravino.
Let's take a look at it again.
A host of purple shirts. Kamichik leads this team in interceptions. That is his 4th. He overthrew him. Kamichik with good hands comes down with it.
He had Toscano and couldn't pull it out.
So after a big gamble on 4th down, the very next play picked off, and that will take the steam out of you.
That's right, Toscano and Ravino back. Kamichik came up with a big interception. We have 1:51 left in this first half, 13-0 Norwich.
That was the first pass play we'd seen Ravino win on this afternoon. Constanti, the other tight end, number 86, was seeing a lot of action. Ravino, a bruised knee, as we told you.
Of course, during halftime, we have a host of things for you, including some musical entertainment, interviews, and, of course, statistics from the first half. So stick around.
Minute 51 remaining here first half. And Norwich has elected to keep the ball on the ground throughout most of the half. It's worked. Stevens and Kamichik doing most of the ball carrying.
You see the huddle in the Norwich.
They'll have to move 53 yards if they want to hit pay dirt. And Lieben got as far as throwing the ball. He's this year 23 out of 61. But in those 23 completions, he's picked up 455 yards. That is 20 yards per reception.
All right, 1st and 10, Norwich. On their 47. Liebengut throws. Chris Rowe got a hand on it.
Threw it 40 yards in the air. Intended for Jamie Edwards.
That's right. A few feet further and Edwards was gone.
You see why he's got the poor percentage passing, but a lot of yardage. All or nothing on one play. Edwards has caught 6 passes for touchdowns this year. That leads the Norwich team.
Liebengut again. And right at midfield, Ed Kimichik met by a wall. Minute and a half to go, the clock counting away this first half. 3rd and about 7 for Norwich, just across midfield. Liebengut. That's Ed Kimichik.
Nice open field tackle by Chris Rowe.
Norwich doing a good job of eating up yards and the clock to wrap up this first half. 1 minute to go. And a timeout, Norwich.
4th and 5 situation. Ball on the 48 of Oneonta. And Rowe dropped back deep to play as if it would be a punt. I can't think Norwich would be punting in this situation.
No.
Mention the teams that Norwich lost to, the 3 of them, but they beat Susk Valley, who hasn't. They also beat Chenango Valley, Owego. They beat Owego right after Owego beat Johnson City, which is kind of interesting. They won it there when Ed Kimichik picked up a fumble in midair and ran it back 75 yards for a touchdown. They've also beaten Elmira, Notre Dame, and Sherburne-Irville, and they have won their last 3 in a row, so they are kind of on a roll.
I think Norwich may punt. They made a number of substitutions during this timeout as Oneonta looks on, waiting to see what happens. Let's see what they do. .58 seconds to go in the half. It's Norwich 13-0, and they will punt.
Remember, that's the quarterback standing back there.
Liebengut to kick. Chris Rowe back deep to receive for Oneonta. Liebengut. Beautiful spiral to Rowe back at about his 8-yard line. Knocked out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. Excellent punt from Liebengut.
Another 40-yarder.
And once again, Oneonta has poor field position to try to get things going here. Clock's down to 47 seconds in this half. And it has been a relatively quick half. Mike Kobashevsky directing the Oneonta offense. That's Chris Rowe. Down to about the 24-yard line. 2nd and 6.
Looks as if he'll just run out the clock with a couple of handoffs and go into the locker room down 13-0 and talk about it in there with his troops. They're going to have to get some kind of a passing game established in the second half.
Well, they're running this time and right up the middle. Vince Lecastri picks up the first down. Clock stops with 16 seconds to go in the half. Lecastri right up the middle gets it to about the 37-yard line. Oneonta calls a timeout. And Mike Kobashevsky goes over to the sideline to talk to the coaching staff.
Oneonta coming in with a record of 4-4. This is their last game of the year. They beat Susquehanna Valley the first game of the year. Then they lost to Windsor, have beaten Elmira, Notre Dame, and Hornell to go 3-1 on the year. Then they lost 3 in a row, lost to Maine Endwell, lost that game on a fake field goal. Lost to Seton, lost to Johnson City, and last week beat Chenango Valley, shut them out in fact. Well, I think it was maybe 41-6. So they have a record of 4-4.
Oneonta with a 1st and 10 on their own 37-yard line. 16 seconds to go in the half, and already down on the other end zone. The Norwich band, chilly but waiting to entertain.
Oneonta has a trick play in their book where they throw to the tight end and then he throws downfield.
They've got
to
something.
Fleischer.
Okay, Kobashevsky.
This is it.
Oh, that's partially blocked. Oh, in and out of Pete Ward's hands. You called it. That was the play.
The coach promised me we'd see it sometime this afternoon, but after that, I don't think we'll ever see it again.
Wonder if we could see that again.
Take the line, the tight end Ravino, number 83, up on the far side. And then he throws down the opposite side to Kim Fleischer, who's lined up way on the left, which is what they did. But it was deflected, and it didn't even get halfway to Fleischer.
This should be the final play of the half. 9 seconds to go. Kobashevsky with the ball backs in the eye. Fumbled. Bad snap. Kobashevsky recovers his own fumble. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Referees are calling a timeout with 2 seconds left on the clock. Oneonta calls timeout. So 3rd and 11 for Oneonta with 2 seconds, or 2 ticks remaining.
Chance for one more play, maybe one of those Hail Marys. Mike Traver, number 34, defensively for Norwich, will just play center field.
He and Ed Kamichik back.
Looking at the flags down on the other end of the field, the wind seems to have really picked up down there, and Kobashevsky throwing into a stiff wind.
And his light snow hasn't let up either. Here we go, Kobashevsky right up the middle. And Rowe is down, and that's the end of the first half. The score, Norwich 13, Oneonta nothing. We'll be back with halftime right after this. Picked up, as you've said. We are just about ready to get underway. The whistle and the kickoff. Here we go. Beautiful kick. Off Toscano's hands into the end zone and out. Touchback. And Oneonta takes over 1st and 10 on their 20. Once again, they've had a tough time trying to get decent field position to start things off.
Liebengut has really showed a strong foot. And again, you see what that wind is like out there. He didn't even really get it in the air. It was more of a line drive, and that thing still carried. Offensively for Oneonta, Kobashevsky, number 17, is the quarterback. Running backs Chris Rowe, number 21, Vince Lecastri, number 20, the fullback, and Vince Toscano, number 30. They like to give it a row.
They send Fleischer wide to the left. Kobashevsky moves it right up the middle to Lecastri. Picks up a yard and a half. Call it 2nd and 8. Just underway in the 3rd quarter. It's Norwich 13-0. Special edition football here on WBNG TV 12. Mitch Gross and Rob Goldman, and we hope you're enjoying it. And of course, next week we'll be at Cornell's Sholkoff Field for the Section 4 playoffs. More information to follow in the next couple of days. Up the middle again, Oneonta tries to go, and they go nowhere.
Well, they have not been successful with that at all this afternoon, and I really wonder why they keep trying it. I don't know what they're trying to establish, but they're down 13-0. That is established. It's on the scoreboard. We mentioned when the first half came to a close that they would really have to try to get some sort of a passing game going, and Kobashevsky hasn't been that bad throwing the ball. 42 out of 87 on the year for 678 yards. He's the 5th-ranked quarterback in the Southern Trails League.
Bottom of your screen, Fleischer wide to the left. Kobashevsky with the ball, the keeper, and nowhere. Oneonta swarmed all over by the Norwich defense. Ed Kamichik leading the tackle there, and Oneonta will be forced to punt. There's a series of downs that went nowhere.
Well, they're going to have to talk about it on the sideline because now they're forced to punt into the wind, and even if he nails it, Norwich is still going to end up in excellent field position. The deep man, Kamichik, is lined up inside Oneonta territory. Kamichik has returned 2 punts for touchdowns this year.
That's Kamichik on 32.
Keith Thornton, a junior, calls for the fair catch. Takes it right in front of Kamichik. And again, they start off in excellent field position. They're at the Oneonta 46-yard line. Norwich runs out of the I formation. Eric Liebengut is the quarterback, number 10. Running backs, Pat Stevens, number 25, and Ed Kamichik, number 11. A fullback, Pete Ward, also in there at number 44.
Liebengut. Right up the middle, Stevens. And he goes nowhere.
They like to run out of the I, but that's about the 5th or 6th time this afternoon we've seen T formation. And it really worked well when Kamichik busted one for a long gainer.
Stevens picks up a yard and a half. Once again, 2nd and 8. All on the Oneonta, just over the 45-yard line. Traver in motion. Look out. That's a great 2nd and 3rd effort from Eric Liebengut.
Looking for someone to pass to. A rollout. Nobody
Tackle
there.
Phil Lecastri, by the way, for Oneonta. 3rd and about 5. Officials timeout. Little equipment problem right there. 3rd and about 5. Ball on the Oneonta 42-yard line. Eric Liebengut at the quarterback. To his right. Oh,
what a hit.
He is met.
Toscano, wow.
Wow, you can hear it up here.
They said he replaces a face mask every week. Maybe they're right. Again, he's looking to roll out, and he had number 85, Chet Grzybowski, lined up as a tight end out there. And just going about to the first down marker and turning outside. He's a big target to throw to, 6'7", but he just decided to turn it upfield himself. 4th down. They're going for it. While Oneonta's lined up in punt formation.
That's right. Liebengut rolls, looks, knocked away. 51, John Sawyer, the senior, 6 foot. And he almost had the defensive man's dream right there.
I'll tell you, he's lucky he got a piece of it because he had number 33, Jamie Edwards, right over the middle, wide open. Paul Angelino, number 80, was the closest man to him, but he wasn't able to get it out there. And Oneonta will take over on downs. 1st down now for Oneonta. They finally get a little breathing room. They're out at their own 41-yard line.
Best field position in a long time for Oneonta. That's Rowe, turns the outside. Kamichik knocks him out of bounds.
First time this afternoon we've seen Liebengut miss a tackle. Number 10 was in the backfield, and Rowe did a nice job high stepping away from him. And picked up good yardage, close to a 1st down. He'll be about a yard, 2 yards short.
Norwich calls a timeout. Ball just shy of midfield.
A set of keys to a General Motors car was found over by the concession stand. If you brought keys, please report to the...
It's just an opportunity to tell you that Norwich's junior varsity team finished their season undefeated, 7-0. And just losing 8 seniors this year is Dan Chrisman. He's got good things to look forward to the next couple of years. They had a game with Oneonta scheduled for, I believe it was yesterday or this morning, and that was canceled because I think 16 Oneonta players were suspended due to a food fight in the cafeteria. Little animal house. But 7-0, Norwich's JV program went, and it bodes well for the future. 8 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
And Norwich leading 13-0.
Second down, 4 yards to go.
Call it 2nd and 4. That's Rowe, and he's down.
Paul Angelino, number 80, wrapped him up. Threw him back for about a 5-6 yard loss. Make that Bruce Berg. Paul Angelino plays on Oneonta's defense. I get that right.
3rd and 7.
It was a nice play by Berg, but not much imagination on the Oneonta offense.
That's right. Kovačevski, pitch out. And Toscano gets back to about midfield.
Did a good job of picking up the yardage that Rowe had lost when Berg sacked him.
It will be 4th and about 1.5 yards.
4th and 1, they'll obviously go for it. But what do I know?
Will they? Back
In
to
comes
punt.
Lazarus.
Timeout, Oneonta. Let's talk it over again. And this time the coach is coming out.
Mike Kovačevski kind of walked up to the line of scrimmage as if he was going to call the signals for a quarterback play there, and the punter was back there warming up his leg. Just looked around and called timeout.
7 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter.
Oneonta's head coach, Fred Kovačevski, in his 15th year, 3rd year as the head coach, told us that his team likes to play in the cold. Well, he got it.
They got it today, that's right.
He says rain and sloppiness, however, could cause some problems. And although it's been that cold, we have yet to see a turnover except the 1 interception, no fumbles. If the bad snap and the quarterback fell on it on one play, but other than that, relatively fumble-free.
Field's in very good shape, too.
Yeah.
So we wait as the coach talks things over with his offensive team.
Oneonta's been forced to go to Rowe quite a bit. They lost Joe Green, a captain and a running back on their team, 5 games into the season. Against Maine Enwell, he broke his clavicle and was lost to the season for the team. In those 5 games, he'd scored 36 points.
All right, 4th and about 1. Big down. Kovačevski, handoff. Rowe is across, and he's got it.
Good second effort.
Chris Rowe. And Oneonta continues to move. It's the best series of downs so far.
Rowe, a tough kid at 5'8", 150. He's carried the ball 128 times this season, picked up 774 yards. He averages just over 6 yards a carry. He likes to run outside. Against Johnson City, he picked up 150 yards in the game. Albeit a lot of it came late in the game, but 150 yards against JC is nothing to sneeze at.
Paul Angelino, wide left, bottom of your screen. That's Chris Rowe with the ball, goes around the right side, knocked out of bounds. 44, Pete Ward, the left inside linebacker, bumps him out.
Mentioned before, the linebackers on Norwich, Ward and Dave Kamichik, like to do a lot of blitzing, but when a team such as Oneonta has a row that runs outside as much as they do, it kind of takes that away from them. Ward showed good pursuit there on the far side.
2nd and about 6. Ball on the Norwich 43-yard line.
Let's see him pass.
Angelino again, wide left. Kovačevski to Rowe. Off that right side again. They're working the right side. Jim Berger, the right guard. Chris Wilder, the right tackle, getting a lot.
That's where the size is. Berger 195, Wilder 175, and Berger's just a sophomore. Wilder is just a junior. Both of them will be back next year.
I'll tell you, they got some size on the left. Scott Page at 6'3", 185. 3rd and about 2. 5.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, and the ball down to the Norwich 39-yard line. Angelino again, wide left. Kovačevski to Rowe, tries to cut back, and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. No, he loses another yard or so.
John Stone, number 54, with the tackle.
This quarter, the ball carrier brought down by number 66, Dave Kamichik.
John Stone making the stop. So he comes wide to the left side, Norwich right end, pushed him to the inside.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Norwich, the call.
Pete Ward, number 44.
That's their first penalty of the day, and that's a costly one.
And what would have been 4th down and 1 now becomes a big 15-yard penalty as they march it downfield, and they'll put it at the Norwich 25-yard line.
Ward comes out of the game.
I wouldn't think he was ejected, but boy, has Dan Crispin ever given him a talking to.
That's for sure.
That was a big play.
1st and 10, Oneonta on the march at the Norwich 25. Kobashevsky to Rowe off the right side. 11, Ed Kamichik on the tackle. Picks up about 4 yards.
And Ward now comes back into the game for Norwich.
Called it 2nd and about 6. Ball down at about the 22-yard line. Oneonta eating up a lot of yards and a lot of time here in this 3rd quarter. Kobashevsky up the middle to Locastri. Bruce Berg on the tackle.
Straight power football this drive by Oneonta.
Seems like they're giving Norwich a bit of their own medicine right now.
Yeah. The penalty helped. 4 minutes remaining, 3rd quarter.
And an official's timeout, and you can see it's windy and it's cold here in Norwich. 4:06 to go in the 3rd quarter. Official's timeout right now. And Mike Kobashevsky.
They felt Norwich's 3 secondary men were suspect coming into the game, but they've yet to try to go after him. Maybe here.
Kobashevsky looks, pitches out to Rowe. He goes around the right side, and he's knocked out of bounds.
Ball player, Valley hitting low, but Rowe went right up over the top of him, and he down very close.
4th down. About 2.
Made a dive to that 1st down marker, wasn't able to get there.
This is another big down. Oneonta came through the 1st time on a Chris Rowe plunge. Let's see what they do this time.
About the 17, if you're thinking field goal, forget it. They don't even go for extra points. They go for 2-point conversions. They don't have much of a kicking game.
They send Fleischer wide to the left. Kobachevsky. Looks like Rowe's got it. And the Yellow Jackets keep moving. Best drive of the day. 1st and 10, the ball on the 15.
Norwich side of the crowd suddenly kind of quiet.
Kobashevsky to Locastri.
That was Toscano, the fullback. A rare carry for him. He's the blocking back in that backfield.
Toscano, the ball carrier, 2nd down, 7 yards to go.
Coming down to the 3-minute mark in this 3rd quarter. And most of it has belonged to Oneonta as they continue to march down the field. 2nd and about 6. And there's the flags. Took a little too much time on that count. That'll be a delay.
Procedure against Oneonta.
Illegal procedure penalty against Oneonta.
So with the ball on the 10-yard line, they'll mark it back 5. Second and about 11.
88, Kim Fleischer, the split end for Oneonta, checks into the game with a play. And he goes wide to the left,
where he has been most of the day. Kobashevsky wants to throw.
Wide open.
Oh, yes.
Dave Ravino, the tight end.
Outran the secondary, and he was all alone. Dave Ravino with the score for the Yellow Jackets, who are back in it now. It's once again a ball game, 13-6 Norwich.
This is going to be a big 2-point conversion try if they go for it. One of the rare times we've seen Ravino in the game this afternoon. Bruised knee, we keep telling you, but he was a question mark coming in.
Well, last game of the season, bruise or no bruise.
Yeah.
Wants to play. Okay, they'll go for two. Kobashevsky.
Going right.
Rolls right. Throws. Almost picked off. 66, Dave Kamichik got his hands on it. So they can't come through with the 2 points. A break for Norwich, and Norwich continues to lead 13-6, 2:28 to go in this third quarter.
He had Paul Angelino, number 80, open in the end zone, but chose to throw it over the middle instead. Finally, they break the ice and get on the scoreboard. And it was an impressive drive. Done on the ground, except for the touchdown when they decided to go to the air to Ravino, and the 15-yard penalty to Pete Ward. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Uncalled for, and it hurt.
It really is what did it for Oneonta, because they would have been in a 4th down situation. And instead they got a 1st down and pushed it down to the 25-yard line. Just under 2.5 minutes remaining, third quarter. 13-6. The Norwich Purple Tornado lead.
Back deep to receive for Norwich. 44 on the bottom of your screen is Pete Ward. 25, Pat Stevens. And here we go, the kickoff.
Sean Sawyer, the center, kicking off.
That's Ward with the ball on his 30. Falls forward to about his 36-yard line, where Norwich will take over 1st and 10. 2 minutes, 23 seconds to go in this third quarter.
It's not often the man that kicks the ball off makes the tackle, but John Sawyer, senior 180-pounder, did so just then.
And the natives are getting restless in Norwich.
It's been a while since the offense has had the ball. It was a long, sustained drive for Oneonta that resulted in a touchdown.
Eric Liebengut controlling the offense. Right up the middle to Kamichik.
Back to the power I they went that time.
Dave Kamichik comes out. Dave Wake, 63, goes in as they alternate on that left guard spot. About a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8. The ball just shy of the 40-yard line. Liebengut. Stevens. And what looked like a little initial confusion in the handoff turned into a decent gain.
Matt Stevens, the ball carries out by number 21, Chris Rowe.
3rd down at about 4.
3rd down, 4 yards to go for Norwich.
Ball on the 44-yard line. Coming down to the minute 10 in this third quarter. Liebengut. Delayed to Stevens. Stevens drives forward. He has a 1st down.
Good job on that right side of the offensive line. Norwich, Scott Moore, John Stone, Chet Brzezowski also in there making a big hole, and Stevens hits it quickly. Pat Stevens is just a junior.
Norwich quickly out of that huddle. 50 seconds and counting in the third quarter. Liebengut once, twice, thrice, 3rd delay. Goes to Mike Traver.
One of his rare carries. They got 40 seconds. They'd like to get as many plays off as they can right now with the wind.
Picks up a yard and a half. Called a 2nd and a long 8. Ball just shy of midfield. This should be the last play of this quarter, excuse me. Liebengut. Kamichik, and he just makes it across the midfield marker.
That's Krieger again, that 265-pounder on the defensive line for Oneonta making the hit. They haven't had much success running at him this afternoon.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. That's the end of the third quarter with the score Norwich 13, Oneonta 6. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Meanwhile, the Norwich varsity leads by 7 here with 1 quarter of football remaining.
All right, ball at midfield, Norwich. And Eric Liebengut, the quarterback. Third fake, Stevens, round the right side, knocked out of bounds. Just shy of the 45-yard line.
These teams match up really well. No real outstanding people except for maybe Grzybowski on the Norwich side and Krieger on the Oneonta side. 180, 190 up front as both lines, defensively and offensively.
I know we were talking this week prior to the game. We were expecting a close one, too. We're getting it 13-6 Norwich. Fourth quarter just underway. Liebengut to Stevens again around the right side. And that is some straight power running. Knocks out of bounds just around the chain. See where they mark it.
Close to the first down. I don't know if he got it, though.
You can see the reaction from the other side of the field. He was short. Oneonta takes over, 1st and 10.
That word momentum now comes into play. It has shifted again.
See if Oneonta has it. 1st and 10 on their 43-yard line. That's Chris Rowe with the ball.
May have gotten a yard.
Chris Rowe, the ball carried out by number 80, Bruce Berg.
Rowe, a workhorse this afternoon, 26 carries, 84 yards.
Been Rowe for Oneonta and Stevens for Norwich. Back and forth. 2nd and about 9. 10.5 to go in this game.
To the air.
Koszewski throwing. Great reception, 88. Kim Fleischer finally, after sending him out to the left side so many times. Fleischer with the big reception, 1st and 10, and Oneonta's on the march again.
And that was a well-thrown ball by Kobyszewski. That's the best pass we've seen this afternoon. A nice tight spiral. And it got right there, leading Fleischer just out of bounds. And he makes the good catch for the first down. Fleischer, the leading receiver. Kobyszewski likes to go to him. And they've also got the wind to their back. That could be a big, important factor here in this final quarter.
Oneonta in Norwich territory on the 45. Kobyszewski. That's Chris Rowe. Another first down.
Nice piece of running by Rowe. He picked up about 14 yards.
It's down to the 31. The 32.
Puts him up close to 100 on the afternoon.
First and 10, Oneonta continues to march up the middle. Lacastri, Vince Lacastri. And right now, Oneonta has found the secret, the fountain of youth. I don't know, but they're finding every gap in that Norwich defense that there is.
Just running right up the middle behind Berger, Sawyer, and interesting, that's Vince Lacastri running behind his brother, Phil Lacastri.
Ball's down to the 17-yard line. Oneonta with their second impressive drive of the afternoon, both coming in the second half. Kobyszewski, Rowe.
Nice tackle by Liebengut. He read that play perfectly. Power out of the right, and they just simply gave it a row.
And Grzybowski.
1 yard gain, second down, 9 yards to go.
2nd and 9. Ball on the 17. Coming down to 9 minutes in the game. Kobyszewski pitching out to Rowe. Finally knocked out of bounds. Ed Kimichik. Bruce Berg, the right defensive end, just couldn't catch him.
Once he got by Berg, plenty of room on the outside. Rowe, the only one that lined up in the backfield on that play.
1st and goal again for Oneonta on about the 5-yard line.
How things change.
You said it, momentum, and it's swinging the other way right now. Kobiszewski, Rowe, touchdown! Oneonta comes back to within a point. It is now 13-12. And as you said, they don't go for that one, they always go for the two.
Now's a good chance to tell you the two plays that they like to do on two-point conversions. They like to go with an unbalanced line, have the first man outside the tackle go 5 yards and out for a pass, which is what we saw last time, or sometimes they run the option out of the power I. They just bring the wing back around for a handoff.
Angelino wide to the left. That's Rowe, and he is clobbered by Grzybowski. That's what we thought he could do.
That right there may be the defensive play of the ball game. He didn't hit him as much as Rowe ran into him.
And bounced off of him. So 8:52 to go in this final quarter. It's Norwich 13, Oneonta 12.
Very big play. You got to wonder what Oneonta could be doing if they had some kind of a kicking game. All they would need were 2 extra points to get the lead back.
John Sawyer will kick off. Pete Ward at the top of your screen. And there's 25, Pat Stevens. At the bottom, they will receive. There's Stevens, number 25. To his right is Pete Ward. John Sawyer on the kickoff. And we'll see which way the momentum swings this time. There's a whistle, and here we go. It will be Ward.
Nice
at
catch.
about his 16. He slips slightly, still on his feet, and down at about the 29-yard line. Good second effort for Pete Ward, where the Purple Tornado will take over. 8:46 to go in the game, 13-12, Norwich.
Sawyer's done a good job kicking the ball off. Nobody has really today broken anything for a big gainer on a return. And Kobiszewski thought that that might be a key to today's game, is they're kicking off, because they really hadn't done it that well this entire year.
Backs in the eye, Eric Liebengut directing the offense. Kamisic. And now we see some great running from him. Ed Kamisic, the fullback.
He ran over and stepped on Chris Rowe.
That looks a little short of the first down. Ball on about the 38. Well, it's 2nd and 3. 8 minutes to go. Traver goes in motion. 25 is Pat Stevens, depending on where they mark it.
Stevens, the ball carrier, brought down by 86, Jim Constanti.
Officials time, let's bring those chains out.
Those 2 yards will give Stevens 98 on the afternoon. Kamisic has 56.
Well, let's all take a look. Just enough. Nose of that football. Norwich, 1st and 10. Ball on their 38. Liebengut. Stevens.
Carried a couple of players with him.
Among them, number 63.
Phil Lecastri and Jim Constanti, 86.
Another equipment problem on an Oneonta player.
Vince Toscano. Probably that face mask again.
They may have replaced it at halftime.
Liebengut has gone all the way at quarterback for Norwich. Interesting, he really didn't start the season as the quarterback. A freshman, R.J. Lowenstein, was their quarterback for a while, but Liebengut took over.
Traver in motion. They go up the middle to Kamisic. Kamisic can go hardly anywhere. He may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. 7 minutes to go in this game, 13-12 Norwich. This has turned into a goodie.
Kind of get the impression both teams are kind of afraid to put the ball in the air for fear of a turnover.
3rd and a long 7. Ball on the 43. Traver in motion. Pitch out to Stevens. Gets around the right corner. Down that sideline. And knocked out of bounds. 30, Vince Toscano with the saving tackle there. And right now the momentum swings Norwich's way.
He really threw a stiff arm, Stevens. You see the strength in his upper body as he shedded Vince Lecastri. Just a stiff arm put him right down to the ground.
Ball on the 47-yard line of Oneonta. Norwich on the drive. Traver in motion again. That's Kamisik and nowhere that time.
Stevens up over 100 yards rushing.
Jim Constanti on the tackle for Oneonta.
Stevens averages 85 yards rushing per game.
Lost a yard on that one. 2nd and 11. 6 minutes to go in the game. Traver in motion again. Wants to throw. It's batted up and almost intercepted. Oh. John Sawyer.
The center, another one of those guys that goes two ways. Went right through his hands. Great job to make the initial tip, and then it just fell right through his hands. Otherwise, he would have had an easy interception.
3rd and 11 again for Norwich.
Liebengut's got to drop back a little bit further in the pocket.
There goes Traver again in motion. Backstay in the eye. Liebengut looks, and on the keeper, he wanted to pitch it out, but held on to it.
Guess who? Mr. Sawyer. Got him wrapped right around the helmet.
John Sawyer's playing, the game of the season for him right now.
Kind of looked like they were running an option play there, but 3rd and 12 to the near side, an option.
You think you'd call it differently?
Interesting.
Norwich forced to punt.
First time we've seen Liebengut this half. First half, he averaged 47 yards on 3 kicks, and Rowe has dropped back deep.
Off to the right, and it rolls out of bounds, or just shy of the out of bounds line at about the 28-yard line, where Oneonta will take over. 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the game, and they are down by a point, 13-12.
And they have the wind at their back. And if somewhere on that sideline there is a person that can tell the coach he can kick the ball, you would have to think with the stiff wind down there right now. And if maybe they can get within 30 yards or so, maybe try a field goal. All they need is 2 points to get the lead.
Kovalchevsky. Vince Toscano on the carry. The clock continues to roll, and the clock will play a very important part of this game at this point, coming down to 4.5 minutes and counting. Call it 2nd and about 8. The ball at the Oneonta 30-yard line. Kovalchevsky, he wants to throw. Short pass.
Fell down.
His receiver fell down, and flags are flying. We'll see who pushed who.
I don't believe Liebengut hit him. I think he just kind of lost his balance, the receiver, and fell down. It's going to go against Norwich, a pass interference call. Must have held him as he came out of the backfield, the receiver. But he hit the ground, and the pass went over his head.
The field judge coming over to Dan Chrisman to explain, he said he motioned with his hand that he grabbed him around the jersey, around the midsection. That's why the flag was thrown.
Another big penalty against Norwich,
who was penalty-free in the first half. Yeah. And this will be 1st and 10. Ball at the 45-yard line of Oneonta, and Oneonta is moving. now they're getting the breaks, and the momentum is swinging the other way again.
I don't believe any of these teams have thrown on first down the entire afternoon. And in the power eye right here, it doesn't look as if Oneonta will.
Oh, boy, you can see movement all over the place. Looks like
Phil Lecastri got popped, and he did a dance right after it. I guess he believes the Norwich people
everyone's
are offside.
pointing at everyone. Let's see. Offside, Norwich. 70, Jeff Law jumped across.
Really gave Phil Lecastri a hit, but Lecastri didn't move.
So it's 1st and 5 at midfield.
Now here's a good situation to throw the ball. 1st down and 5. They've been able to run the ball. Let's see him put it in the air on 1st down.
Kobashevsky.
Oh, boy.
And you can see once Chris Rowe got it, everybody got Chris Rowe.
Big number 85 there leading the charge.
Chet Zabowski, 64 was Scott Moore. Norwich's defense rises to the occasion there as we just passed the 4-minute mark and counting in this game. This has turned into one heck of a ball game this afternoon.
Injury-free, too, when you think back on it.
2nd and a long 8. Kobashevsky wants to throw. He's being pressured, and he's going to keep it round the left side and down the sideline.
And he can thank Chris Rowe when he gets up for not having a sack minus 10 yards. He picked off the blocker who was just about to hit Kobashevsky.
Picks up the 1st down to the 40-yard line of Norwich with that clock stop running at 3:25.
Number 70, Jeff Law, was just about to tackle him, and Chris Rowe stepped out of nowhere and gave him a hit, and it allowed Kobashevsky to run for the 1st down yardage.
Mike Kobashevsky, the quarterback. Right up the middle, Vince Lecastri. Picks up maybe 3 yards. 2nd and 7. All at about the 38-yard line.
I don't believe Oneonta's team has more than 25 or 30 players over there. There are only about 15 kids standing on the sideline.
Backs in the eye, Lecastri wide to the right.
Uh-oh.
That's trouble. But a heads-up play from Chris Rowe. You could see that was coming.
And Kobashevsky is still laying down on the ground, slow to get up. He should have eaten the ball. He chose to pitch it, and he got whacked nonetheless.
And a break for Norwich. Moves it back to Norwich 47-yard line. And the defense is calling for noise from the crowd. They're getting it. 3rd and 17. 2 minutes to go in the game. Norwich up 13-12.
They'll go for it on 4th, so they have to at least get back to the original line of scrimmage on this play.
They're going to throw. They left one back wide. He's under pressure. He throws. It's batted away. Number 33, Jamie Edwards, defensive play of the game for Norwich.
Plays the rover position, as well as split-ended offense. And a nice tip play.
It's now 4th down. With Oneonta down by a point. It's all or nothing right here. They've got to go for it.
No, without a doubt. You hate to say it's all or nothing because there's 1:46 left, and a turnover could prove a big point. But if they don't make it here, there's no reason to believe that Norwich, who's controlled the ball on the ground for much of the game, wouldn't be able to do the same and just run out the clock. But here we go. Fleischer to the left.
Kobashevsky back to throw. Fleischer to the left, and it's almost picked off. Jamie Edwards again gets his hand in the way. Kobashevsky is down.
He took a hit from number 80, Bruce Berg. It was a good job by Kobashevsky just to get the ball off. And he was able to get it off with something on it. It was a nice pass.
So Norwich will take over. 1st and 10 on their 47-yard line.
The Norwich defensive line really rose to the occasion on that play. Bruce Berg was in very quickly, as was Stone and Moore. And really didn't give him much time to even set up.
They can stick to their game and run out this clock. This is theirs. Kamichik up the middle from Liebengut, and they're going back to their regular plan of attack.
Still has their timeouts remaining.
That's true.
Clock's running at 1:25. They're going to have to start using them soon on defense to try to get the ball back on offense.
Ball's down to the Norwich 48-yard line.
The only thing that'll hurt here is a turnover. And Norwich has yet to turn the ball over this afternoon.
Traver in motion. Liebengut. There's a turnover.
Oh, my.
At midfield, it's Oneonta's ball.
At the bottom, number 88, Kim Fleischer recovers. Just what we said couldn't happen.
With a minute and 1 second left.
Unbelievable. I don't believe it.
Just as you said it. Just as you said it.
Kim Fleischer, number 88.
Gets the ball.
And you think if they're going to go for big things, there might be Fleischer as well in offense.
Obashevsky to Rowe. Chris Rowe. Down to the 34-yard line. 1st and 10. Oneonta driving. Clock stops at 43 seconds.
Got to move the chains. And Oneonta has asked for a timeout as well. Coach Fred Kobashevsky has 43 seconds to find out if he's got a kicker on his team. A field goal will win it. 13-12, his team trails by 1. And Norwich was looking past.
The coach is coming onto the field for a little timeout, and conference will take a timeout. Norwich 13, Oneonta 12, 43 seconds to go. We'll be back in a moment. That's the situation. Norwich by a point. The ball is on the Norwich 40-yard line. Excuse me, 35-yard line. There are 43 seconds left on the clock. Oneonta is driving. Mitch Gross and Rob Goldman here. We hope you're enjoying it. This has been a heck of a ball game. Obashevsky's going to throw. He has Fleischer wide open, and he goes short instead.
Rowe
to Chris Rowe. Gets it down to about the 30-yard line. He had
dropped back so far that the 20-yard completion was only good for a 5-yard gain. Without a huddle,
they called a couple plays in that huddle. 24 seconds, 23, 22, backs in the eye. Kobashevsky back to throw. Fleischer back deep.
Tip.
And it's tipped. Oh! Oh! Chris Rowe is looking the other way.
That was close, I'll tell you. 15 seconds left, and Chris Rowe almost had it land in his hands. Norwich players just got to bat it to the ground if it's anywhere near him.
Norwich makes some quick changes on their defense. Backs in the eye again. Kobashevsky back to throw. He goes to the right. Got a catch. Dave Ruffino down to the 15, 1st and 10.
Chains will stop at 7 seconds. They'll move the chains. They're at the 12-yard line. Can they kick? It'd be a 29-yard field goal attempt, but I don't believe they have a kicker. I think this is Oneonta's last timeout they've used right here.
There's the coach in the huddle.
What a pass by Kobashevsky.
This is the whole game right here for Oneonta.
Threw it into a crowd, and his receiver came down with it.
Seven seconds to go. Norwich up by a point. Ball is down to the 12-yard line.
What do you call? Got to look for that same play they scored the touchdown on, I might think, with Ravino, a kind of a rollout pass. It worked successfully when they scored.
If I were coaching, think a misdirection.
Let's not get into the impossible you coaching.
You know, you and I have been relatively civil with each other through this whole game. And the Norwich side calling for noise, and they've got it. They send 3 receivers wide to the right. Kovashevsky rolls to the right, looks over the middle, throws, intercepted! Jamie Edwards!
Time is over. The game is over.
The game is over. The game is over. 23, Dave True. 23, Dave True with the interception. That's it. It's over. What a game. Norwich 13, Oneonta 12.
Incredible.
What can I say?
Incredible defense.
Do we have time to go to statistics now, or shall we take a timeout? We have statistics now. Rob, let's wrap it up real fast. What do you think?
Just an amazing game. It came down to the end. As you said, we thought it would go that way. And picked off at the goal line. It's got to hurt for a lot of the seniors in Oneonta. They played their last game. But a very happy occasion for some of the Norwich players. And we might as well take this time to tell you that Norwich finishes their season now 6-3. Oneonta 4-5. This was the team's 55th meeting, and now the 30th win for Norwich in the big rivalry. Oneonta's 125. There has been 1 tie, and the fans will go home happy here at Norwich.
And we hope the fans watching at home are happy. This has been an outstanding game. It turned into a real barn burner. Yeah, let's take a look at that final play once again, if we may. This is it. Coming up in a couple of seconds. Here it is.
It's the rollout pass that we talked about. And he threw it into a crowd.
23, Dave True. With the interception of the day, possibly the season. And that's the way it wraps up here at Norwich. The final score, the Norwich Purple Tornado 13, the Oneonta Yellow Jackets 12. For Rob Goldman and executive producer John Muha, director Dave Brzezinski, the entire cast and crew. This is Mitch Gross. We thank you for joining us once again.
They told him, don't you ever come around here. Don't wanna see your face, you better disappear. The fire's in their eyes and their words are really clear. So